In this lesson, we'll work on the twist setup of the left thigh's Flexi Line. Let's go ahead and start with the connect curve at the top. So it'd be a good idea to track the twist axis of our thigh and tie that to the connect curve. Thankfully, we already have an exposed node that we can work with to do that. So let's go ahead and select it. That's expose L thigh twist. We'll right click and choose wire parameters. That's going to be object, local Euler X, and we'll tie that into our connect curves rotate y-axis, so that's rotations or Euler y. Alright, watch what happens when we do a direct connection. You'll notice that when we start to rotate the thigh, that curve is already canceled out. That's simply due to the difference between the orientation of the thigh and our flexi rig. It's just different in a way where we can just simply cancel out that twist axis. If they had the same orientation, we'd have to go in and use the reciprocal value to cancel out our twists, but that's not the case here. Alright, so I'll go ahead and right click and use transform to 0 to bring this back, so that saves us a lot of time. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of the connect curve at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and tie that to the shin's twist axis. So we'll go ahead and work with another exposed node. I'll go ahead and grab the one that's connected to the thigh, and we'll go ahead and clone that. Let's name it from here, so that's expose L shin twist 01. Alright, let's go ahead and Alt-A align it to our shin bone. And let's go ahead and link it to the same object. Alright, great. So now we need to expose that same bone. So let's go ahead and select it. Great, and taking a look at the twist axis, you can see it's very clean. It's ready for us. Now, let's go ahead and do our connection with the exposed node selected. We'll right-click and choose wire parameters. From there, it's going to be object, local Euler X, and let's tie that into our connect curves twist axis. So that's rotations or Euler Y. Now, again, with the orientation in mind of the thigh chain and our flexi system, we know that at the top we were able to go ahead and cancel out our rotation, so chances are when we connect into this we'll need to use the reciprocal. So let's go ahead and add the negative operation here before the expression, and we'll choose OK. So once we have created this, when we go ahead and grab our FK control and we start to twist, notice that this will follow. Now there's one more thing we need to keep in mind, and that is the axis order of the shin bone. Remember, our FK control object here has the same axis order. If we were to go ahead and rotate up and the z-axis and start to twist in the y-axis, notice what type of weird results we get. That's simply due to a poor axis order. However, watch this. If we go back to that same exposed node, we can actually change the axis order from here. So we know we tied in the x-axis. Let's go ahead and scroll up in the modify panel, and we'll go ahead and find the x-axis underneath rotation. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch this to something that will allow x to be evaluated last. Let's go ahead and use zyx. So watch this now. When we go ahead and grab our knee control, when we rotate that up and start to twist, notice the twist will work. If we were to go ahead and bring this back to 0 and start to twist, it's going to work. This is really cool stuff. Again, the exposed node is very powerful. So that gives us a very clean twist. Very exciting. So I'll go ahead and use transform to 0 to bring our knee control back. And that's what we needed to do to finish up our work as far as setting up the twist is concerned for our Flexi Line connected to this thigh. So in the next lesson, we can go ahead and work on finishing up the flexi rig, so we can go ahead and move on to the shin.